Hi guys, this is your good old girl blogging with April. I'm coming with another blogging with April chronicle. This is the last chronicle for 2023, last day of the year. So I guess I can come with you with the last chronicle. Today, my chronicle, I will be doing a Color of Purple remake review. I went to see the good old Color of Purple movie on yesterday, so I'll be talking about it. I have my little outline, so if I look down, y'all, just bear with me. I don't want to miss out anything. So let's get into this topic. First, let's get into these good old actors. We have Corey Hawkins, which was Hoppo. He played Hoppo. We have Taraji P. Henson. She played the good old Suge Avery. Fantasia Barrino. She played Adult Celie. We have Danielle Brooks. She played Sophie. We have Coleman Domingo. He played Mr. or what we call Abbott. We have the good old Haley Bailey. She played Young Nettie. And our other star cast was Louis Gossett Jr., David Allen Greer. We had Tamala J. Mann, Sierra. Ooh, Sierra. I love Sierra. We have Whoopi Goldberg. She played the midwife to young Celie. And let's talk about the producers. Without the producers, there would not be a show, right? So we got that good old Steven Spielberg, Quincy Jones, Oprah Winfrey, and we got Scott Sanders. Those were like the full cast, and you have like your dancers and people in the background. So those were like the main cast of Color of Purple, the remake, which started off, they had the original, the first Color Purple, which was in the 80s. And then they had like the Broadway play, which Fantasia and the actress that played Sophia, they were like on a Broadway play. Just learn some interesting little fun facts about the Color Purple, and then which they were like now in the film, in the movie. The Color Purple was based on a novel written by Alice Walker. Guys, it was like a lot of controversy with that novel. She wrote the novel. The book was written in 1982. It won a great award. The book was based on African American women suffrage, the struggles that African American women went through, and just the whole empowerment thing. So Color Purple was based on a book first before it became a movie, and it was like a lot of controversy. The book was banned back in schools. Back in the 80s, due to a lot of the stuff they had on there about religion, homosexuality, violence, rape, incest, drug abuse, and explicit language. So the book, it was banned in school. And if you think about Celie's character, embodies a lot of that stuff. She was abused. It was incest, which we later found out that the man that she thought that was her daddy, she had the kids by. In the end, they said that wasn't her dad. That was her mom's second husband. But she was very young, so there was childhood sexual abuse. It's still bad. You had she was raped and things like that. So Celie, embodies a lot of that oppression and things like that. Poor Celie. So this book, actually, the Color Purple book is fictional. Those characters was based on some of the things that was really going on around that time frame. The movie is based in the 20s, based in Georgia. Jekyll Island is where they filmed the remake of 2023 Color Purple. So it was based in Georgia, good old Georgia, Jekyll Island. Well, that's a few things about about the book and what the movie is based off of. Why did they name the movie Color Purple? And it says this came from Suge. As Suge and Celie, they were walking the field. Suge said it pisses God off if you walk by the color purple in a field somewhere and don't notice it. That was cute. When I was looking at the movies, I watched that part. Like, okay, so that's where the name Color Purple came from. And I like the fact, like the nice field, and because I'm a country girl myself, and I just love good field with flowers and things like that. Good old land and dirt. That's how I grew up, a good old country girl. So I can relate to a lot of the fields and the flowers and things like that. So I like that. So that's where the Color Purple came from. As I was saying before, if you're taking it from a woman standpoint, you look at the different characters in the story. You had Sophia. She was this strong African American woman. She didn't take no mess. She will fight you back. She's not scared. She's bold. She's fearless. That was Sophia's character. Then you have Celie. She was abused at a young age. Her spirit was broken. She was oppressed and depressed. She was like it was an arranged marriage. She was more like a slave to her husband. Her husband didn't love her. He just wanted somebody to raise the children, to cook for him, keep up the house. It was no romantic thing, between Celie and Mister. And I remember some parts of the this is a spoiler alert. You have not seen The Color Purple. I'm giving away some things in the movie, so I'm just letting you know in advance. I will be talking about some stuff in the movie. So as Celie and Suge Avery was talking, and Suge Avery asked, why do you call him Mister? That's not his name. He got a name. And Celie never knew the man's name. Like I said, the marriage was, as we saw the first Color Purple. When we saw the first one, that was an arranged marriage. The dad, he went to dad. He really wanted Nettie. Abbott wanted Nettie, but instead Nettie was young. He said Celie spoiled, meaning she had kids and stuff like that. So Celie was the oldest. So that's when he gave Celie to Mister, and she never knew his name. They wasn't like romantic, none of that stuff together. She was more like a worker. But he really was in love with Suge. And I think Abbott, Mister, he was like a womanizer. I think, he was trying to get at Nettie. That didn't happen. So he always was in love and sprung over Suge Avery. So that what that was in that situation. As time as Abbott kids got older, which was the main thing that was highlighted, which was Hopple and Celie, they really build a great relationship. Like I think he really loved Celie. They bonded well. He respected Celie. So they didn't show much of Abbott's other kids. It was more other kids, because Hopple did have other siblings, but like Hopple was one of the main characters that they really highlighted. So Celie and Hopple relationship was pretty good. Okay, so a little bit about that. Okay, so about the main things that I choose to pick out from what I saw in the movie on yesterday. The hair and the wigs. Y'all, I love it. I love it. You saw like Fantasia. I saw like we was like laughing at her little wig, her little plaited wig. We say like little James Brown wig and stuff like that. You had what's the Suge Avery? She had like the little finger waves and stuff like that. Like her wigs was well more polished, because she was more like the celebrity superstar. So her wigs was well more polished. And I guess they had to get into character with even like with the hair. So Celie, she had like the little matted, oppressed hair. She didn't have like the looks, the glam. She didn't her clothing was more like oppression type clothing. She didn't have like nothing stylish or fancy, anything that's glowing. And I remember Suge Avery asked Celie, why you don't laugh? Like she was always mad and serious because she was beaten. She didn't have like they took her kids from her. That was her first heartbreak. Like, they showed like in a remake that her mom died, and then it went on then it went on to show that she bore her, I want to say, her second child first, the boy, and then the dad took that, and it's like she didn't have any happiness. And then I think really what did it, whenever her sister, like the one that she loved, the last thing that on earth that she really loved, her sister Abbott snatch her away from her, then threw her out the house and things like that. So Celie didn't really have a reason to have happiness. And then on top of that, she was beaten and abused and just like a worker. So it was really rough for her. So she didn't have that happiness and that glow. And you can tell, like, I don't know if she gave up or what, just going through the routines of life. So that was more of Celie's role in that. So the hair, all that match up. Sophia, her hair, you can tell she had little sass. So she had like more like little big hair, afro hair, but she was more like, okay, she cared about her appearance and things of that. So I guess when you look at the movie, you can see like the women and how you know, they showed like times when Celie went to town, like some of the women were well to do, they had their nice clothing on, hair done. So now all women in that time looked like Celie. Celie was like is in a bad situation at the time, and then the looks followed. And then because you know not everybody, and it was based in the 20s, not everybody like looked like bad. And you had like the church scene, like they showed this the one scene like with Cora Tamla Man. I call her Cora. Tamla Man, she was like on the choir. Like some of the choir women, they were nice looking, had, you know, little glow to themselves, and they were singing. So like I guess it depends on what like how you were treated, how your husband treated you, and what kind of lifestyle that you had. So I think, I mean, you can just look at the different women, how they look, and like and their lifestyle, like what were their role in their families. So that was about. And it was interesting too. Celie didn't go to school. Nettie, she went to school, because Nettie was trying to teach Celie different words and how to read. Nettie was actually going to school. Celie didn't. So I'm thinking a lot of Celie childhood was robbed. She was just treated bad from the gate. Like they would show back to after her mom died. Like she was treated badly. And Nettie had opportunities to go to school and learn and be more polished. So Celie didn't have that advantage in that. Okay, so the costumes. I like how they kind of kept it close to the original movie, like some of the clothing and the hair, like I said before. The suits, the men's suits and things like that. So they kind of kept it really close knitted. So I like that. They did a good job on that. The singing. I like the songs. I thought, okay, when I first went in the movie, I said, Lord, I hope this don't be an entire movie just singing. But the songs mesh really well with the acting, with the movie. I like the songs were really like it kind of had you like in the moment. They had some little twist to like some little they brought a little bit of our culture in it, our day and time in it. Like they had like some of the hip hop moves and the choreography. So I really enjoyed that. Like every from the top to the end of the movie, I enjoy even the singing parts, because some of the songs I really got into, and I treated like I was actually at a concert. I said, well, in my mind, I said, if this is gonna be some singing, let me treat like I'm at a concert. Let me get the most out of the movie, you know. So that was good. I think that was good. Comparison of the old and new. Some things that was different that they added in, which I think that was good. That was a good selling point, good attention, just to keep our attention. Some things they added that was different, so that give you something to compare the old with the new. Like for instance, when Nettie, she got kicked out the house, they didn't show the scene that like the first Color Purple, the 80s, the first version. They showed that she was on her way to school, like coming from school, something like that, and Mr. was riding behind her like on his horse, and they showed that she ran, throw the book down or whatever. And okay, so they didn't show that on this one. They just showed that what happened. She came to their house when Celie was all, the marriage was already rearranged. So she went over to Mr. House and said Dad was trying to touch her. So they asked, can Nettie live there? So Mr. he agreed, but he already had something up his sleeve, like can't trust him. So they showed the scene that she was asleep, and he came into the room and tried to advance her, and then he got upset because she wouldn't go for it and kick her out the house and things like that, shot at her. Now that made me mad. And then that was the last of that part of that's the beginning of the separation of Nellie and Celie, when she ran off or whatever. But she was writing letters, and Celie didn't know about it. Celie wasn't allowed to go to the mailbox, and Abbott surely wasn't disclosing that your sister is writing you. So she was in her mind, she was kind of hoping that her sister like was alive, and she didn't know. She was just praying. She was concerned about her kids, her children, and things like that. Because she also talked about that with Suge Avery. Suge said, well, you know, I think they're okay or whatever. So later on, come to find out, we like it as it compared with the first version, that they found Suge went to the mailbox and found the letters. You know, and then she gave him to Celie. So Celie, you know, she was like learning more about her sister. Sister, you know, was writing. And the thing that I said, you know what? Nettie never gave up. Nettie never got a response, but she kept writing. I said, you know, that's interesting. She kept writing. And she didn't probably even know if Celie was alive or not, dead or alive, but she kept writing. So that's like that faith and that perseverance to me. So I really like that. Another comparison: Suge Avery and Celie kiss. Okay, so on the first Color Purple, they kissed like after the whole juke joint concert. Okay, so on this the 2023 version of it, they kissed. They went to the movies, so that's something different. Suge and Avery went to the movies after the fight broke out at the juke joint. They went to the movies, and it went into this whole play, like they was on stage, like they were singing. Celie was all dressed up. Suge, of course, were dressed up and they were singing. So they did like a little duo there. And then at the movies they kissed. So the kiss scene was different. Another thing that I don't recall, Celie visiting Sophia in jail. On the first one, I don't recall. You remember with Sophia, she that lady asked to be Miss Millie. She asked to be she wanted Sophia to be her maid, and Celie said hell no. And that man and you know that she was the mayor's wife, and he said, what did you say to me? And she said, I said hell no. So that's when they went for her, and then he slapped Sophia hit him back. So that whole thing, so that was similar like the first one. But Sophia went to jail, right? It didn't show on the first Color Purple that she had visitors. They just only showed when she got out and she worked for Miss Millie. But on this particular this version of Color Purple, it showed that Celie was actually visiting Sophia in jail. She brought her something to eat for Thanksgiving. Sophia wouldn't eat. Sophia was broken at that point. But you know that strong exterior that we saw when she first came, like when her and Hoppo first met. So she was broken at that point. She didn't want to eat. Her face was swole up. They really broke her down really good, you know. So Sophia Celie, she visited her on a weekly basis. They showed that. So that was good. That was different. Another thing that could have compared that was different was after the whole thing about the whole table scene towards the end of the show, that when Suge came back and said she's gonna take Celie with her back to Tennessee, and I think it was Suge and Avery stood up and said she wanted to be a singer, so she going to. So after that, after Celie's father died, they showed that Celie came back, and they showed that she inherited like the store and the house, which was from her actual dad, which like the guy that died was her come to find out that was her mother's husband. That wasn't her biological dad. So her biological dad left her and Nettie a deed entitled to the house and the store, which Celie later on turned into her store. It called Celie's Fancy Pants. So she turned it into her business. So that's what Celie's been coming up. So okay, let me rewind it back. The table scene was funny to me, y'all. When Suge, it went down after they had their little dinner. Sophia wasn't saying that. Sophia just been looking down. Sophia wouldn't say nothing. Like she was like in that same old oppressed thing, broken state, you know, after she got out of jail. So that lady didn't say nothing. That junk was funny to me. And everybody at the table, Suge, her new husband, Mr. Dad, you know, the one that they spit, Celie spit something in his water. They was at the table. Hoppo, you got the one they call Sweet, Mary Agnes, that was Hoppo new girlfriend or whatever. So all of them was at the table. This must was Thanksgiving. I'm assuming. I don't know. It was that Sunday dinner. I don't know what they were celebrating. But anyway, You know, even Celie, she was she kind of was hurt because she said that she didn't she you know, she fell in love with Suge, and also she said Mr. is much nicer to her. It doesn't beat her when Suge is around. So she kind of used Suge more as a she look at Suge more as like, you got to help me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man be torturing, you really got to help me. So she really like looked up to Suge and looking at her as like as a saving grace. So Suge was saying, no, they had to head back to Tennessee. So she said, but she's gonna take Celie, and Celie going with her. And Abby said, Celie ain't going nowhere over my dead body and stuff like that. So Celie snapped. Celie started going off, you know, and said, I am leaving. And they kind of went into the scene, like, you know, she about to pull a knife on him. That thing was funny. And then all that, you know, that part was funny. Then that's when Sophia, she started laughing. She not crack out of whatever that was she was in. She got out of that real quick, got out of that trance. And she says it's gonna be some changes around here and stuff like that. So that was like a little breakthrough for Sophia and for Celie as well. And I like the part when before all that, Sophia at the table, Sophia said she like to thank Celie for checking on her and things like that. Like, that really hurt her, the situation. She had to go to jail and things like that. And she said she like thanked Miss Celie because Miss Celie was the only one that checked on her in jail. So I like that, like sisterhood, people sticking together. So that kind of brought me to mind of that and stuff like that. So that was good. So, you know, that's when, you know, Celie did a little hand, what you did to me, and what, like the curse thing, that was iconic. So they went off or whatever. So I like that. So that was that part was the same. Okay, so they went to Tennessee or whatever, and that's when the whole thing, Celie got the phone call. They, you know, Celie, I think it was Celie's birthday. They were celebrating her birthday. They were staying, all them Suge, not yet, Suge, that was Suge's house. What they call Sweet, Mary Agnes, and Celie, all them, like, they were staying at Suge's house. Suge had a nice big old mansion in Tennessee, so they were staying there or whatever, like trying to start their new life and things like that. Until, you know, Celie got the phone call saying that her dad died, so she had to go. She went home to the funeral. All of them went to the funeral, things like that. They went back, and so Celie wound up staying back down there in Georgia because Celie inherited the business and the house and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if Suge, from what the storyline is, I don't even know if Suge even went back to Tennessee. Like, all of them kind of finished out the scene there in Georgia. But it showed later on some of the same things. The comparison with that was different. That after, you know, Celie had her store doing good and all that type stuff, Mr., he really wanted forgiveness from Celie. Like, he went on to paying for her sister and children to come back over to America. It was some things going on in Africa, so he, you know, he had to pay for that. He gave up his land, so he did a good deed. Because Celie already told him, until you do right by me, everything will crumble. His crop started going bad. The house got bad. He would drink. He was like at that point he was like down. And Celie was coming up. Celie was rising. So he had to turn around and did a good deed for Celie. And he went into the store, which they didn't show on the first Color Purple, but he actually went in the store and asked for Celie's forgiveness. He bought some pants from her, and what did he give her? Something else he paid for, and was saying that he wanted to be her friend and things like that. Something he went. She said, no, we can. So, I don't know if he wanted more or what, but she said, no, we can just be friends. So it went off like that, and she was looking like, well, you know, so she did forgave him or whatever. And later on, it showed that, like I said, to where he paid, they bring the siblings back over to America, and then it showed that she was having like a some type of surprise brunch or something like that, get together. So she gave him an invitation for in the mail, came for him, and it was cute to where he wore the pants that he purchased from her some silver cute pants. Y'all got to go see the movie. I haven't seen the movie. I think that was good. So the difference was he actually went into her store. I think the first color purple, it showed, it was, I don't know, it was like she was in her shop, and I think she imagined that he was outside on his horse with some flowers. But I don't know if that was like an imagination or he was there but just didn't like approach her. But this version of it, new color purple, that he actually approached her. So that was good. Another difference is Sugar Avery and the Sugar Avery solo. God is going to tell you something. Okay. When the first color purple, she, after I think they had something that the juke joined during the Sunday morning services. They all Celia all them, they marched over to the church from the juke joint. And she was singing, and you know how she went to the church door open, the lady was singing the choir. It was Speak Lord. Yeah, Speak Lord. That's the name of the song. And like how the lady in the choir was singing, but then it's like they show the old Sugar Avery, like how she just, like, the church door open, she just started singing Speak Lord, and I think her and her dad you reunite like that. Okay, but this version of the difference is this version, it showed that she drove up to the church. The dad was at the piano. I think he was just singing. He was the only one in the church singing, and she came in and started singing. Like he was at they was at the piano. She started singing, and she asked Dad to sing with her. So they sung together, and they made up and stuff like that. And asked for I think she always wanted to get back with her dad, reunited, show love. But he still was kind of cold and wasn't ready. So this time it was a breakthrough in but that was the difference, is that it wasn't like no choir behind. It wasn't no choir in the church. It's like she came in there by herself and they sang at the piano together. So that was a difference in that. So that, you know what I mean? So they threw in a few tricks in the new color purple. You know that some things were different. It's not too much of a difference. The story plot still the same, but they had different little things they added to it just to kind of make it interesting. I think that was by design, just to kind of keep our attention, just to kind of give us something different. Talk about, and you think now you're talking about different cultures now. The 80s versus 2023, different. It's a big difference. Time has changed. You got culture, fashion. The kids might not know anything that grew up and born in the 2000s, don't know anything about the 80s and stuff like that. So things are different. You have to kind of do something. Like the kids and the people that grew up, kids didn't watch the show, but I'm talking about like you got your 20 and 30-year-old. It's like you have to do something to keep their attention, like the plots and things like that. And they'll probably go back and watch the old color purple they haven't already, just to see the difference. And I think it's good to have a little bit of difference in it, so I think that's good. Something for your old heads to relate to, and then for your new people, they can have something that they can relate to. I think that's good in that. Okay, my final thoughts and opinion about the 2023 remake. For one, in my own right, I would give it a 10 because the acting was good, the singing was good, the people, they embodied their roles. They're not gonna be like the exact same way the old actors was. You got to give them grace in that. But they did their part. They work hard. They know their lines. You can tell like they had their own personality in it, because that's a different generation from the old actors versus the actors that they're trying to, like, in the actors now. So you got to give them grace on that. That was good. The singing was good. It was engaging. It wasn't like boring. Like the songs, the dance, the choreography, all that was good. I think it showed a lot about how people live back then. Some women, you can see the variety, the varices and the different type of women. Like I said before, like you had your Sugar Averys. Those were your women. They went out and they chased their careers. They took a chance. They wasn't stuck. You know what I'm saying? Even though her and her dad, they fell out, but she went for her dream. Celie didn't have that opportunity. Celie, she was always oppressed, and she didn't go to school. She her innocence was taken from her. I don't, so the background is different, and you can compare that now with somebody got the same background. Celie was just broken. She didn't know. She didn't have that outlet that was snatched from her. So it was a difference in that. So I like how that, and I like how when I like the movie, like how you did had like they show like some of the plots of the city of Georgia. You did have some African Americans. They were business owners and things like that. The people do some of the same thing. They shop, and they had church. They had the nightlife. Some of the same things that we do in modern day. So I like how they put together the whole stage itself, and some of the clothing, the material that was very closely related to the original version. So I can appreciate that. So I like that. I think overall this movie is a good teaching point on how you can overcome things, how you can forgive others, how you can make do, how you can't let people oppress you. And it's more like a mind thing, because once somebody get in your mind, they tell you that you're ugly, and people go off of what they hear. Somebody tell you that you're ugly, you're not good enough, and things like that. That's what you're going to believe, because you're gonna believe what you've been around, and what you see. Nobody's not giving you your flowers and things like that. You don't have time to smell the flowers. There's a lot going on. Like Celie couldn't appreciate the beautiful flowers, the fields, and just enjoy. She did at one point with her sister. She did, but that was snatched from her. So everything was about work. Getting beat and things like that. She lived like in fear. She was scared, because the man had her mind, and she was scared. She didn't have that outlet and that support. So it had to be rough for somebody like that. So I think it was good. If I can, I will see it again. I do want to see it again. I like seeing a good movie like that more than one time, because I think I probably might get a different meaning the second time I see it. I probably miss something, so I do want to see it again. I think it's a great movie. It teaches on all types of levels. And then a lot of time it helps you to identify what kind of woman are you. Are you a Sugar Avery? Are you a Sophia? Are you a Celie? It helps you to identify, and then a lot of times we see some of our ancestors, some of the things that from the stories that we hear, some of the things that they've gone through, so I think it's good. Everything I would say is beautiful. The actors did a good job. The costumes, I would tripping at Fantasia, like the little wig she had on. And if you notice that, if you watch the remake of it, when she got away from that man, her whole vibe changed. I'm telling you, that man was oppressive. She started when she moved in with Suge, her hair, the wig started looking better. She started getting a glow. She had more swag. She didn't walk broke down. The whole vibe changed. So so y'all pay attention. I pay attention to little things like that. So I think it's a 10. It's a good job. Now, what I would like to see, a sequel. What happens after Nettie and the kids move in? Like, what did they do? What were their lives like? Did Suge ever move back to Tennessee? What happened with Sophia and Harpo? Like, what did Mr. did he remarry? What I want a sequel, y'all. I do want a sequel of The Color Purple, just to see like what how did they live after the fact, y'all. So that's my review on it. It was a good movie. That's it's like I say, that it'll be good to to watch. If you haven't watched it, you want to watch it again, I recommend that you do. It's a lot of lessons in that. It's good. Singing, everything is good. And guys, it was good. I enjoy watching. I enjoy doing this review, guys. Feel free to like, comment, and share. And comment what you think about the movie. What were some things that stood out and resonated to you? I would like to hear your comments on it, y'all. Y'all can follow me. I'm Blogging with April at Blogging with April YouTube, Blogging with April. I'm April Hainsworth on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm April Hainsworth1. I'm on Threads, Blogging with April, and Instagram, Blogging with April. And I have a website, aprilblog.online, where I do one-on-one interviews. I do blog features. If you want to be featured on my blog, you want to tell your personal story, you want to highlight your businesses, you starting a product, you want to get out there, do a one-on-one interview, you can hit me up. I have my prices on my website, aprilblog.online, so check that out there. I have other lifestyle stories and tips and how-tos. Also, I have some one-on-one interviews that I've done. So y'all go check that out on aprilblog.online, guys. I'm Blogging with April, signing off. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been real, y'all. Until next time, Blogging with April, where having a good lifestyle is a vibe. Bye-bye.